In this tutorial, we're going to be adding the distance that we've traveled, and we're going to start recording that. Okay, so we'll just double click anywhere, and we're going to be adding a sprite font, and this is going to be called the distance text. All right, so it just uses a built-in font. We don't need to change any details here. By default it says text. That's fine. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be recording the time and placing that in a text format there. So we need to go to the event sheet and we need to right-click in an empty space, and we're going to be adding a couple of variables. So the current time is something that we're going to be needing to know. Okay, so we start that at 0. And so what we need to do is we're going to be every second, we're basically going to be saying, every second we're going to say that's a distance. So we're going to be adding an event, and that's a system event. And so instead of tick, we're going to be every second, and that's every 1 second. We're going to add an action, and that action is we're going to be increasing the current time by 1. So that's a system event, action, and we're going to be adding to current time. We're going to be adding 1 to the current time. So current time at the very start of the layout starts at 0, but every single second that's going to be added to by 1. And we're going to add another action because we want to actually show the user that's going to be changing. So we're going to change that distance text, and we're going to set where is it? We're going to set text. There we go. So we're going to set the text, and so these are double quote marks. Okay, so just bear in mind, it's really hard to see on screen. It's a double quote mark, not single quote mark. And then that's going to say distance, colon, space, end quote, double quote. Okay, so that's the text. Everything in quote marks is text. So that's kind of a string. We refer to that as a string. But we're now going to place the current time in there, and that's the thing that's going to change. That's going to be increased. So we use the ampersand. That's a top row of your keyboard. That's ampersand, and we can now type current time. So it shows me that the current time is a variable I can use. So just bear in mind, this is double quote mark, whatever word you want to use, double quote mark, and is just the kind of plus it to it, add that on at the end, and then that should type out should show the number in current time. And click done, click play, and so we should be able to see that now. And after the first second, that starts increasing. Now, 2 problems with that. At the very start, it says text. We need to fix that. And the other problem is it's moving down the screen as it's been placed on the layout, and we're moving up the layout, and that's not moving. So we're going to deal with that now. We're going to be moving that. So every tick, we're going to be moving that distance text. So distance text, and we're going to say set y, and so that is the position. We want position y, but we want to add, we want a negative. We're going to take away 400. We'll see if that puts it in the place we want. Let's just double check. Yep, top left-hand screen. So that's actually moving up the screen with us. So we need to fix the problem where it says text. Now we don't change it here. It doesn't actually matter what it says here. We can change it in the properties. So we've got distance text selected, and we can change that here if we wanted to. Where is it? There. It says text there. But actually, we're going to do it here. So on start of layout, we're going to add an action, and in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to copy. So this one here, we're going to Control C for copy, click here, and Control V for paste. Okay, so just drag that down. So that's a nice, quick, and easy. You can copy these different things by Control C. You just need to click on that. You can't click here, obviously, because it just adds an action. You just click here and you paste. Okay, let's press play. See if that's resolved it. Distance 0, and then it starts counting up. Great. Okay, so we've got that distance text added. The next thing is we're going to add the audio for the pop. Okay, so to do that, we need to add something we haven't added before. So we're going to double click anywhere here, and we're now going to add an audio element. So the media, because we're going to add audio, it deals with it. Construct deals with audio built in, but it doesn't kind of load that functionality until you tell it to. Kind of reduces the size. So we're going to add audio. So we've just added an audio object. Don't have to do anything with that. It just means now in the event sheet we can do things with audio. We do need to load the sound. So if we scroll down, we've got this folder here, sounds and music. Now there's two different things you need to consider when it comes to this. And we can add music at the end. We might do that as an option right at the end. But there's when you choose sounds, basically when the game loads, it by default, you can control this separately. By default, it will load that sound before it starts playing the game. But the music, it will load as the game's playing. So we want to add the sound effect to the sound. So we click on sounds, right click, and we're going to import sound. And we're going to import audio. And again, you should have been provided in the files balloon bust WAV. So we open that, and so that's encoded to a WebM format, and that's going to be fine for Android. And we click on import, and that's now available to us as a sound. So when a collision occurs with the balloon, we want to add an action, and it's going to be an audio action, and we're going to be playing balloon bust. We don't want it to loop. Happy with everything else. Click done, and that's fine.